Spikemuth Cup, Series 9, no Dynamax, really interesting format. A few content creators have been popularizing this format, most notably Moxie Boosted and Neil VGC, so shout out to them. So I figured I'd get in on it too, maybe spread the word of this format because it seems to be really fun. Now I haven't played any games yet, I've just been spending my morning researching the format, looking around, seeing some videos, watching some games, and really trying to understand the format a bit. The format is very broad and very creative. There's a lot of different routes that every single player can go. There's rain teams, there's sun teams with things like Torkoal Lilligant and really interesting strategies and really interesting mons that I've seen. I've seen a lot of Stack Attacka, things like Naganadel, Nihilego, Zarina, a lot of really interesting mons that I just think make this format really interesting. That being said, there are a few centralizing Pokemon, things like Rillaboom, Incineroar, and Urshifu. That Firewater Grass core is really centralized in the format, so you definitely want to be aware of that and have answers to those. I think I've made some good on paper answers to all of those, but not quite in practice yet. As I said, I haven't played a single game. So here's the team. Let me go ahead and explain the team. I think it's really interesting. So Rillaboom is one of my favorite Pokemon in Gen 8. It's one of my favorite Pokemon of the format. It seems to be one of the heaviest hitters in the format. Just having access to fake out Grassy Surge is insane. Grassy Glide is an incredible move, especially against the Urshifu water as well. So there's just a lot of different things you have access to here. High horsepower for good spread, for good coverage, and you have U-turn as well, just to be able to switch out and get around and stuff. Assault Vest is really good, and the spread is just basic because I don't have calcs ready for the format yet. I did calc a couple different calcs on the team, and I'll explain those to the best of my ability when I do. Since Rillaboom is the, middle piece, the glue, the center of this team, we do have Volcarona and Sylveon really taking advantage of that surge. So we have Volcarona with Grassy Seed and Quiver Dance being able to Grassy Seed +1 its defense, and then Quiver Dance the rest of its meaningful stats to +1 except HP. I want to intelligize this spread. It's not a word, it's definitely not a word. So we're gonna, change the spread as it goes. But I do want to fix up this defense spread with the Grassy Seed, make it a little bit better. But the biggest thing, that hits this guy is Urshifu, which always hits crits. So even max defense and stuff, this Pokemon still just dies. Of course, you have Volcarona. If they go for surging strikes, you just swap in Rillaboom, and it's like no deal. Then we have Sylveon that can really take advantage of the Grassy Surge as well. Of course, we have leftovers as well as the Grassy Surge. You go ahead and substitute and then Calm Mind up, and then you just start throwing out Hyper Voices, and almost nothing in the format really can deal with Sylveon after it's set up a good bit. I mean, there are some things, but Substitute really can carry while your other Pokemon is able to just target down the threat of it. And I built this guy really bulky. It is physically defensive, so 236 and 228. This does let us live a couple certain moves. Oh yeah, Heavy Slam from Celesteela was one big one that I really wanted to make sure I could live pretty safely here. If you can get Substitute on the correct turn and then do a Calm Mind setup and then start hyper voicing, I think this Pokemon can just run away with entire games. So that's the idea of the team, is the Rillaboom, Volcarona, Sylveon core. The supporting mons are Zapdos, Suicune, and Landorus-I. There is one big weakness, is like ice things. I don't really know what's in the format enough that can do that. Maybe like Ice Beam from, I think Kingdra gets it, and so does Politoed. So I think rain teams might be pretty difficult for this team to really beat, and Landorus doesn't really help that, which is unfortunate. Might have to figure out a new, some supporting mon at the end that can do that. Now we have Suicune that supports with some Tailwind, good speed control. We also have Snarl in here, which is pretty solid. Suicune is built with a lot of bulk. This 252 and 100 plus here with the Citrus Berry is mostly to survive like Grassy Glide Rillaboom, and that's what we can do, which is very strong. We have a bit of special attack investment, just enough to make this thing actually do some relevant damage. There were a couple calcs that Scald just did enough of. Against Stack Attacka, my Zapdos with the close combat into a Chopal Berry Stack Attacka is doing about 57%, and then the Suicune Scald is able to close the rest of that, so we can double down on a Stack Attacka and take the knockout with Zapdos and Suicune. So that's one of the big spreads that I wanted Suicune to be able to hit. And then Zapdos is the last member of our team. We have Quick Guard Taunt, which is really good for incoming things. Shout out Moxie Boosted for this Zapdos knowledge here, the safety goggles, Brave Bird, close combat, taunt, quick guard. I nabbed that from one of his videos. I did give it max speed because I just wanted it to be really fast. I think max speed Zapdos is really good. Quick guard to protect from incoming fake outs and stuff, which is really good. And then you also have the taunt to deal with the Trick Room team. This is what I came up with. I think the team will definitely change a lot in the future here, but this is just the first run for this format. So let's go play the first game of the format. I only have 50 seconds now to do this. Okay, fair enough. We have a nice little Psychic core and a like Tailwind Dracovish core. Unfortunately, I didn't really get enough time because this like lagged out on me and wouldn't let me play, so I didn't really get enough time to think about the leads. But I think this is all right. Alakazam can definitely do a lot of damage here though, so we could set up a Quiver Dance, but we're not gonna outspeed after like the Alakazam uses its thing. I think Zapdos has to just switch out here. And we can set up a Quiver Dance and then just switch out Zapdos into, that's like Sylveon, because its special defense is like really solid. Oh, you do have a Salt Vest Rillaboom, which is also pretty capable of living anything this Alakazam tries to throw out. I just get rolled by this Alakazam, we'll see. So we have Tailwind coming out and the Dazzling Gleam. We just soak that right up, too easy. Quiver Dance up the Volcarona. Does Alakazam have anything that can really hit this Volcarona? That's the question. So probably not, I imagine. So I think we're good to just like throw out some Heat Waves now and maybe like fake out the Whimsicott. The Whimsicott might switch out though. I feel like it will. I don't know really what it can do otherwise. We could also fake out the Alakazam, but I feel like Whimsicott is probably the Sash holder. So yeah, and I kind of feel like this Alakazam is not that much of an issue here. Maybe I'm wrong. He switches up the Surge, which is pretty unfortunate. So our fake out's gonna do nothing, which is fine. And Heat Wave is gonna do a pretty big chunk of the Indeedee. Okay, and it reveals Citrus Berry, which isn't bad. So we're gonna Heat Wave, and then that's gonna just do a lot of damage to the Indeedee. I think I want to just like switch back out the Rillaboom. I wouldn't mind like U-turning into that Alakazam in case it's sashed, and then yeah, because Indeedee can't really do much damage either. And we're really fast, so I think we just U-turn into the Alakazam. I think the Heat Wave should knock out, right? Where is that? Where is that damage? Okay, 56. So we're not actually doing the knockout here. So I think we're gonna Heat Wave and just U-turn into the Indeedee instead. We have Follow Me, which is perfectly fine anyway. We have Expanding Force from the Alakazam, which is not gonna knock out anything here, but it is gonna do a lot of damage. Volcarona went down, how much? Opposing Indeedee fainted. What do we want to bring in here, though? I don't really want to bring in Zapdos, so I guess Sylveon's the answer here. Volcarona's doing a lot of damage. Okay, so his Expanding Force did 46.6 damage to Volcarona, so we should probably live. It's definitely going to be like who quite knows, though. We could dual protect. I think that's probably the best option I have here. Just straight up protecting, because then Tailwind's gone, and then Volcarona can push it again for really big damage. We can even like Giga Drain the Dracovish. I don't know the calcs though. I feel like it will knock out. Maybe we even like could switch back into Rillaboom. So I think we're just gonna Giga Drain into the Dracovish, and I want to just switch back into Rillaboom so we can like live this Dracovish attack, but it might not. What we're gonna do is we're gonna Heat Wave and we're gonna switch back to Rillaboom. I don't think this is the right play. I don't think this is a very good strong play here. Yeah, that was a really bad play. Unless we burn. If we burn, like, it'd be crazy. Fisher's Run still knocks out. That's unfortunate. Yeah, that's like really bad for me actually. So I think we're gonna go Giga Drain into the Dracovish, and I think I'm just gonna protect again. Oh, it protects. That's really unfortunate actually. So we get nothing here. Alakazam, Expanding Force, really unfortunate. Not gonna do much damage though. Did it miss? Oh, it's yeah, it's single targeting now. Perfect. Okay, so we just got a little heal here, which is like fine for me. So I did reveal the Giga Drain though on the Dracovish, which is like kind of weird. So I feel like he's gonna switch the Dracovish out, you know, expecting that. So we're gonna go Heat Wave actually, which is kind of weird. And if that works perfectly well, then we can sub, and that's crazy. I protected last turn. Okay, we're gonna sub. We're gonna sub. I think this is a good play. We missed the Dracovish, which is unfortunate. I really wanted another shot of burn, because yeah, it just knocks out my Sylveon, which is really bad for me. And now he has Tailwind now, so I think we're just really in a bad position. I think I lose. What's Dracovish gonna hit though? Because he can only like single target. So I think we just target down the Dracovish. I don't think I knock it out with either Pokemon though. So we're just gonna double into this Dracovish. I think it's the only thing that I can do here. We're still outspeeding through the Tailwind, so that's pretty crazy. Actually, we take out the Dracovish here. Okay, fair enough. Does Whimsicott have Moonblast? That's the question here. We have Brave Bird, so we just take it right down. But if it has Moonblast, then that could get a little tricky. It has Energy Ball, which is way better for us. Defiant. This just knocks out, but it probably is sashed. Yeah, of course it is. So that's actually really bad. I really should have not used that move. Then now I lose. Is Energy... Wait, so Energy Ball did 36%. Yeah, he knocks it out. If I would have... That's annoying. If I would have close combat, I would have competently two-shotted probably instead. So that was a really good game, though. we have a Trick Room player here, a very obviously Trick Room team as well, with the Hatterene and the Torkoal and the Porygon Z. And we have Gyarados as well, which is kind of interesting on the team. I'm gonna go ahead and set the timer up because I just do that. Rillaboom doesn't feel like insane here, which kind of sucks because, you know, it's the center of my team. It's the centerfold of my team. Sylveon seems very strong in this matchup. It doesn't really take damage from anything, and Hyper Voice is hit on every single thing very effectively. I mean, not super effectively, but effectively. I think we have to lead Zapdos. I think Volcarona Zapdos seems like a pretty solid lead, to be honest. If we run into a Hatterene and Indeedee lead though, it could be a little problematic. He'll just follow me and then we can't like taunt the actual thing that's Trick Rooming. We're gonna have to deal with Trick Room in this matchup, I think. I am really tempted to just bring Sylveon Rillaboom again, actually. I think I'm going to. I don't know, this seems really weird, but I think it's good. I think it'll be good. He does just lead the very two-dimensional lead with Indeedee and Hatterene. So we're going to do it. We're going to do the play that I'm expecting to do, to the taunt the Hatterene, and then I really want to Quiver Dance, but I can't, because then we're just so slow. So we just Heat Wave. And the Grassy seed is like probably not going to, you know, make any difference here. We could, in theory, change the terrain here, but I think we just change the terrain next turn when we start spamming the attack. We just switch to Zapdos into the Rillaboom next turn. So we'll just taunt, and we'll go for a Heat Wave. This will get us a good bit of damage. Maybe we can lay a burn, which doesn't really matter that much, but the damage is really good. So then we go ahead and taunt the Indeedee, and now he sets up Trick Room, of course. We'll switch out Rillaboom, and I think we just keep going Heat Wave. I think we just like do a lot of damage here with Heat Wave. Could start to protect here. I think the Hatterene's probably going to target down the Zapdos, though, with the expanding force, because, you know, it's pretty expected that I'll switch it in the Rillaboom here. So I think we're going to go one more Heat Wave. I just feel like I'm not threatened enough to not. I might be wrong, though. Expanding force targets down the Rillaboom. Indeedee is now taunted, so it's also just expanding force. We do miss the Indeedee, which is actually really unfortunate. But Hatterene should be in range now, and we can fake out. So I feel like Hatterene just protects. So we're going to fake out and throw out a Heat Wave. I really feel like the Hatterene protects. We see a switch into the Torkoal and protect. Okay, so we're going to do some like solid damage here. The Heat Wave is going to do a pretty sizable chunk. Yeah, pretty good. For like a resisted hit, not bad at all. And I don't know my calcs. I don't know my calcs whatsoever. I don't know if we can Grassy Glide and take out the Hatterene. We definitely can't Grassy Glide and take out the Torkoal, because Torkoal is really, really physically defensive. We didn't protect last turn, so we can protect with our Volcarona, because I feel like the Torkoal is just going to like Heat Wave, which means I can't really U-turn. I think we just have to switch, like manual switch here. We have to bring in Sylveon, because Hatterene's going to use like Dazzling Gleam most likely. And we'll just protect the Volcarona. We have to start really Trick Room, like stalling out these Trick Room turns. He does switch out his Hatterene, which I think is pretty good for me. Torkoal's going to Eruption, which isn't going to do too much here to Sylveon. Sylveon's very specially defensive. And with the leftovers, we are healing back up a good bit. So I don't think our Sylveon is like incredibly threatened here. I think we're just going to protect and throw out another Heat Wave. Just do some damage here. I think it's fine if Volcarona goes down before it can really Quiver Dance, and then we just like try to clean up the end of the game with the Sylveon and Zapdos primarily. So I'm just going to click Heat Wave again. Helping Hand here is pretty good. It might take out, it probably will take out Volcarona actually. Okay, very, very close. Very close. So not bad at all. I'm pretty happy with how that turn went out, because now we have Trick Room coming back, and our Trick Room is gone. So I think we're pretty safe to just set up a sub here and go Heat Wave. This might be greedy, but I think it's good. We'll see what no switch. Wow, no switch at all. Okay, fair enough. So we get a free sub up from the Sylv. Which is kind of crazy, actually. Like, the Sylv. I hated that I said that, but I had to emphasize that I said it because I hated it so much. No, my light! Green screen light fell. I broke fourth wall. I broke the fourth wall, everybody. My opponent's taking a lot of time to think. Oh, they left. I really like this team. I think I'm going to play some more games, work out some more kinks, but for now, this is going to be it for the video. Thanks so much for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, leave a like, comment, subscribe. I will put the pace for this team down in the description down below. So if you have any ideas for the team, you know, anything to switch up, maybe the Landorus-I could change. Maybe even the Suicune can change. It really felt like these 4 Pokemon were really strong, but I really like these 4 Pokemon. Goodbye.